This is music, and this is an archaeological find. So we spent Christmas with my family this year in the city of Odense, where they live. So we went to visit them, and turns out that they actually held on to actually quite a lot of my old tapes from when I was a kid. Most of the tapes they held on to were, like tapes with kids' stories on them and radio plays and so on and so forth. But they also did actually hold on to some of my music tapes, including some, I think, rare and hard to find demo tapes. So in this video, I'm just going to show you the music tapes, only 6 of them, but the music tapes that they held on to. I'm not going to show you the radio play tapes. They're cool, but I don't think they interest people that view this channel that much. But the first one I want to show you is a very special thing. It's actually this one here. Flick of the Switch AC/DC. I mentioned in, I think, one of the first videos I did on this channel, I mentioned that Flick of the Switch was the first AC/DC album I heard. And it was one of the albums that sort of got me into rock music. The very first album that got me into rock music, kind of actively, that was Somewhere in Time by Iron Maiden. But I heard this one, and this is actually that tape that my parents had, and they gave to me. I just turned it on. It was in the middle of a song, and I was scared shitless by Brian Johnson's crazy vocals, and I went, I don't like this. And then the next day I gave it another listen, rewound it, and I actually liked it. So, and this is actually that tape. This is very cool. And what I did was, I didn't listen through it all the way from beginning to end, but I just gave it, like, some of it a quick listen to see if it was playable. And it was actually in the middle of a song. It hadn't been rewound. It was in the middle of the solo of This House Is on Fire. So I thought that was kind of fun. It plays very well. It sounds very good. But this is the tape, one of the tapes that started it all. So that is actually pretty amazing. The next one is a demo tape, Arabesque. And this is an Italian glam metal / hard rock band. This is from 91. So this is a band, I mean, actually it's pretty good, I think, but this is a band that were just at the wrong place in the wrong time, right? In the early 90s, hard rock was kind of taking a bit of a blow in general because of, on the one hand, the rise of the extreme metal scene, and on the other hand, the rise of the alternative rock and grunge scene. So you got this one, Arabesque, kind of stuck in that. I don't know what became of this band, but this is a 6-track demo. So almost like an EP. Pretty good stuff. Just nice glam metal. The next one is a bit of a mystery to me. This is actually a 2-track promo for Bruce Dickinson's Skunk Works. I have no idea how that came into my parents' possession, because I don't think I had this as a kid. But there you go. Bruce Dickinson, Skunk Works 2-track promo. Very strange. The next one was also a bit of a mystery until I just gave it just played a couple of seconds from it. And that is this one here, Incision. And I just realized this was something that was very important to do with cassette tapes. Just like, yeah, there you go, just like that. Incision. And I was like, what is that? It sounds like, it could be kind of like thrash metal. But as soon as I heard it, I recognized the voice of the singer. It's a band that involved a singer who's been in a lot of bands that I've been in too, including a thrash metal band I was in, and including a hard rock band we had when we were like very adolescents, basically. So Incision, I think this is the band he was in after the thrash metal band kind of disbanded. I left that band kind of like 2 years before they disbanded. They carried on for a bit and then disbanded. So this is Incision, a demo tape. It's almost like a full length. It has like 11 songs on it. And this is alternative rock, I would say. Grunge, alternative rock. That's pretty cool to find this one, to be sure. The next one is God's Creation by Kourage, or Kourage, as we called them back in the day. This was this is a demo tape, and this was a local traditional heavy metal band in the early 90s. So they were part of the early 90s Danish metal scene, but they were kind of like a fringe part because, I mean, this was a scene that was going extremely extreme, you know what I mean? It was going in the direction of extreme metal. So it was a sea of thrash metal bands, black metal bands, and death metal bands, and grindcore bands, and so on and so forth. And then you had these guys on the fringes, a traditional heavy metal band. They were pretty good actually, but they were not that popular on that scene. But they had like a following in the biker community. And I remember at some point, some members of the thrash metal band I was in and some kind of friends we ended up somehow at a party that these guys threw in their rehearsal space, which was massive. I think it was like in a closed down factory or something. So it was massive, and they threw a party and they did like a two set gig in the rehearsal space, and the rehearsal space was as larger than actually some music venues. And there were a lot of bikers there. And I remember at some point I was standing in front of a fridge, and there was a really huge like biker guy who said, dude, I'm gonna grab a beer from that fridge. And then he basically just picked me up like this, put me to the side, and I was like, what the? Opening the fridge, taking out a beer. And then the crazy thing is, then he picked me back up and placed me back in front of the fridge where I was standing initially. So that was like weird. But I'm really happy to find this. I liked these guys. Everybody else in the sort of part of the more extreme part of the scene, they weren't too keen on these guys. But I always had a weak spot for traditional metal, so I liked these guys. So I was really happy to find this demo again. I think I picked it up, you know, at a concert back in the day. And the last one, I don't know how that came into my possession. I must have bought it at a show or somebody gave it to me. No Remorse, Wake Up or Die. Swedish crossover thrash from the early 90s. No Remorse, Wake Up or Die. So these were the 6 music tapes that were in the big stack of tapes that I found at my parents' place. Very exciting to me. I hope it piqued your interest as well. Feel free to go and try to seek out, if you collect demos, seek out some of these demos. Good luck is all I'm saying. No, I don't want to gloat, but you know what I mean. I think some of these are hard to come by. In any case, thanks for watching.